You've come a long way, baby, but you've got a long ways to go. One of the things that attracted me to this deserted hive, well, not so deserted hive, was the unusual flight patterns around it. But that may also have been a sign of trouble. Well, I did notice when we were extracting the hive from the rose bushes that I hadn't seen any larvae and I hadn't seen any eggs. So this hive could be queenless. It was time to really dig through it. We needed to clean the frames up, see what was on the frames, and try to work our way to the what I would call single brood box management. I try to keep hives as a single brood box and a single medium super of supplies, and this hive was a long ways away from being in that condition. But to start with, we needed to take a look at the actual frames and see what was on them. Were there any eggs? Did I miss a queen? Was there any larvae, or was it just some leftover capped brood? Only one way to find out. I had nicknamed this hive Frankenhive, but our own bee told me no, we gotta stick with the ancient Greek cities, so this hive was going to be known as Mesopotamia.
Well, how do you like that? I'm already drawing out comb on this, but in the wrong direction.
Indeed, they were drawing out comb that was perpendicular to the foundation. Oh boy, this thing was a mess, and these bees, well, they definitely were feral.
Some capped brood.
There was a ton of propolis on everything, and, well, the comb itself wasn't in too bad a shape on some frames, but they all required a lot of cleaning up to get them to fit into the box properly. It was going to be a project, but I knew that going in.
Got their attention now.
Our own bee was taking a break and going down to the Jersey Shore. It was a beautiful day, kind of cool compared to most of the days we've been experiencing lately, so I figured I'd put myself to work just doing all this cleanup. In actuality, for 20-year-old frames, the bees had done a good job at preserving the wood.
A few capped cells.
My own concerns about this hive were being confirmed. I had seen capped brood, older capped brood, but no sign of eggs and no sign of larvae. It is possible that they had a virgin queen running around, but it was also very, very possible that this hive ended up being queenless for some reason. They were jumpy. Certainly they were jumpy the day that we got them, although they're a little bit more mellow now. But we're going to have to do something with this hive. We're going to have to introduce a frame of eggs and brood and see if they make an emergency cell.
No eggs yet. These frames are actually in not bad shape. Although they got some arbitrary designs to them. There's lots of capped brood.
Knowing this was going to be a long, drawn-out process, I actually brought a folding chair out so I could sit down and really look at each frame. What the bees had done with the wax on the frames was, well, downright crazy.
It won't fit because there's a big chunk of propolis on it. This was our conjoined frame. Is there a queen in this hive? Oh! That's not brood, that's just honey. Good pot of honey. Tons of honey, open cells, no brood.
We had brought over about 17 frames that we extracted, and a few more of these frames were about to get, oh well, decommissioned. They just were in too bad a shape.
Lots of honey. Open. Some capped. Still no brood. That's getting moved over. Brood. But no young brood, no larva. Can't believe these 20-year-old frames are still intact. And they're not even all that black. Sorry guys. Didn't mean to bounce you all about. Oh man. Got some brood, but this frame's a mess. Stores. But that's it. See if we can use this. So for the first time at least we have 10 frames in the box. That's a good thing. Now let's knock these guys down. Oh. Very, very ugly frame. A little bit of brood. Do we have any brood on this frame? Did I see any on the other side?
I had placed what would be our main brood box on the very bottom, and on top of that I put a medium box, which will be their stores. The upper box is going to be temporary, just until we get the hive, well, straightened out.
That's the brood side. One blank because we're going to throw a brood frame in here. For now I'm just going to button this guy up and we'll come back to him in a while. I'll let them calm down. Okay, I'm going to try to get in and out of here really fast.
Atlantis was our strongest hive, and we had a lot of fresh eggs and young larvae in it. So I was going to try to get in there as fast as possible, grab a frame of eggs and larvae, and get out without disturbing the queen or accidentally moving the queen to the other hive. So I did have to shake them off and try to really inspect this frame and make sure that, well, we weren't exporting some royalty.
Eggs, larva. What we don't want is a queen. Hopefully, we do not have a queen on this frame. All the materials there for them to emergency supersede. If we want to make sure we don't have a queen over here.
This frame would now get moved over to our feral hive, and I replaced it with a blank frame, which hopefully they will draw out and make use of.
Alright, now onto our weak swarm hive, and I'm going to give them another frame of honey from this other hive. I'm going to let these guys beat.
For now, one of the damaged honey frames from our feral hive would go into our swarm hive to just help them along. They were still a very weak colony and needed every break that they could get.